Welcome to Streaming News Network, where we deliver balanced reporting with the facts that matter. The Morning Edition by J. Claude McDaniel. Please like and subscribe.
This is J. Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. 2 additional immigration judges in Chicago have been dismissed as federal immigration courts report a sharp increase in deportation orders. Judges Eva Saltzman and Elizabeth Kreitz were notified by email Thursday that their employment had been terminated. Court data cited in reports indicates the 2 judges had among the lowest percentages of cases ending in removal orders at the Chicago Immigration Court. The dismissals come as immigration courts nationwide handle increasingly crowded dockets. Data tracking court proceedings shows monthly removal orders increased from about 33,000 in January of 2025 to nearly 79,000 in June of 2026. At the same time, the percentage of immigrants failing to appear for scheduled hearings reportedly doubled from 20% to 40%. Under federal immigration law, judges can order individuals removed in their absence when they fail to appear for a scheduled hearing and legal notice requirements have been satisfied. Critics argue that shortened scheduling periods and heavily crowded court calendars are making it more difficult for some immigrants to attend hearings or obtain attorneys. Administration supporters maintain that immigration laws and court orders must be enforced efficiently as the government confronts a substantial immigration case backlog. Immigration judges are employees of the United States Department of Justice rather than independent federal judges with lifetime appointments, giving the executive branch considerably greater authority over their employment. This is Streaming News Network. Multiple people are dead and others injured following a shooting Saturday afternoon at an In-N-Out burger restaurant in Twin Falls, Idaho. Twin Falls Police Chief Matthew Hicks confirmed that the suspected shooter was among those killed and said authorities believe there is no longer a threat to the community. Officials had not immediately released the total number of fatalities or injuries as authorities worked to identify victims and notify their families. Witnesses described a chaotic scene near the restaurant, located in a busy shopping area where hundreds of people were reportedly nearby. One witness said he saw a person carrying an AR-style rifle emerge from the drive-through area. Another armed individual reportedly exchanged gunfire with the shooter. Witnesses also described restaurant employees running from the building and an injured worker being helped across the parking lot. Police evacuated portions of the area, closed nearby roads and brought in multiple law enforcement agencies while investigators interviewed witnesses. Authorities are working to determine the shooter's identity, what led to the violence and whether anyone was specifically targeted. The In-N-Out burger location had opened only about a week before the shooting as part of the restaurant chain's expansion into Idaho. This is Streaming News Network. Americans may be finding it increasingly difficult and expensive to simply find somewhere to socialize. Federal labor statistics show the United States has lost about 1/5 of its movie theaters and nearly 1/3 of its bowling alleys since 2001. Researchers say similar declines have affected coffee shops, restaurants, recreation centers, and other community gathering spaces sometimes called third places. Meanwhile, operating costs are putting additional pressure on businesses. Restaurant food costs have reportedly increased 38% since 2019, while labor costs have risen 35%. Menu prices have climbed approximately 31% since 2020. Researchers warn the consequences could extend beyond entertainment. Studies have linked social isolation and loneliness with increased health risks. A 2023 United States Surgeon General advisory reported that social disconnection was associated with as much as a 29% greater risk of premature death. Researchers say affordable gathering spaces provide opportunities for everyday interactions with friends, neighbors, and even strangers that can contribute to stronger communities. Some younger Americans are responding by choosing less expensive activities, including roller skating, dancing, and outdoor gatherings. The challenge may ultimately be about more than disappearing bowling alleys, theaters, and neighborhood restaurants. Researchers say communities could also be losing some of the everyday places where human relationships naturally develop. This is Streaming News Network. A Massachusetts state police trooper has lost his law enforcement certification after allegedly keeping a contractor's excavator as collateral during a dispute over landscaping work. 26-year-old Trooper Joseph Franklin faces felony charges of larceny involving property valued at more than $1,200 and intimidation of a witness, juror, police officer, or court official. He has pleaded not guilty. Investigators say Franklin hired a contractor for landscaping and tree work at his Palmer property, paying approximately $11,000. Franklin reportedly believed the work was not completed satisfactorily and was pursuing a civil claim. According to police records, Franklin told investigators his attorney advised him to retain the contractor's Bobcat excavator as collateral. Police later determined Franklin had neither a mechanic's lien nor a court order authorizing him to keep the equipment. The contractor reportedly claimed that $5,000 was demanded before the excavator would be returned. The Massachusetts Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission subsequently suspended Franklin's certification, requiring him to surrender his badge, firearm, and credentials. State police had previously suspended him with pay while the criminal investigation proceeded. Franklin was released on his own recognizance and is scheduled to return to court August 6. The charges remain allegations, and Franklin is presumed innocent unless proven guilty. This is Streaming News Network. Former National Football League player and Australian rules football athlete Patrick Murtaugh and his girlfriend, Hannah Orville, are mourning the loss of their baby son. The couple announced that their son, Milo Michael Murtaugh, was stillborn after arriving earlier than expected. In a joint social media message, Murtaugh and Orville said their brief time together as a family was irreplaceable and described Milo as the biggest missing piece in the rest of their story. Orville later shared an emotional tribute to her son, saying she had dreamed of a lifetime of being his mother and would always consider herself Milo's mom. She described the experience of meeting her baby as both deeply meaningful and heartbreaking, while also expressing compassion for other parents who have experienced the loss of a child. Orville also praised Murtaugh for supporting her throughout the delivery and their grief, saying his strength and tenderness never wavered. 26-year-old Murtaugh previously spent time with the Jacksonville Jaguars and has also competed in Australian rules football. The couple says that despite their devastating loss, Milo will always remain part of their family and their story. This is Streaming News Network. A South Carolina sheriff's deputy has died following an underwater training exercise at Lake Murray. 29-year-old Master Deputy Jillian Olson died Thursday while participating in dive team training with the Lexington County Sheriff's Department. Olson joined the department in 2021 and became a member of its dive team in 2024. Officials say she had accumulated more than 100 hours of underwater experience. The Lexington County Coroner's Office is investigating to determine the cause and manner of her death. Recovery efforts involved the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, its Aquatics Investigation and Recovery Team, and the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Lexington County Sheriff Jay Kuhn thanked public safety agencies from across the state for responding and described Olson's decision to serve on the dive team as an example of her willingness to go above and beyond. Olson was promoted to Master Deputy in the Warrants Division in 2025 and was scheduled to receive a 5-year Honorable Service Award next month. Friends say Lake Murray held special meaning for Olson. Her family recently purchased a home there, and she enjoyed kayaking, paddleboarding and jet skiing on the lake during her free time. Olson will be laid to rest Wednesday. This is Streaming News Network. The term narcissist is frequently used to describe someone who appears arrogant, controlling or self-centered, but psychologists caution that narcissistic behavior can be more complicated. Displaying narcissistic traits does not necessarily mean someone has narcissistic personality disorder, a clinical mental health condition requiring professional diagnosis. Psychologist and author Dr. Carmen Hara identifies 10 behavioral patterns she says may warrant attention. They include intense charm early in a relationship, targeting highly empathetic people, seeking control, gaslighting, refusing accountability, emotionally exhausting others, exploiting relationships for personal benefit, struggling to maintain healthy relationships, placing ego above empathy and repeatedly portraying themselves as the victim. Hara says these behaviors can gradually cause partners, relatives, friends or coworkers to question their judgment and lose confidence in themselves. When dealing with persistent manipulative or controlling behavior, she recommends establishing firm boundaries, maintaining connections with trusted friends and family and avoiding attempts to personally fix another person. Mental health professionals emphasize that occasional selfish, defensive or controlling behavior alone does not establish a personality disorder. The more important consideration may be whether harmful behaviors become persistent patterns that repeatedly damage relationships and emotional well-being. This is Streaming News Network. Fire Country star Diane Farr is saying an emotional goodbye to her Los Angeles home after 30 years, but she wants fans to know she is not leaving the popular television series. Farr announced the move on social media, reflecting on 3 decades in Los Angeles after originally arriving in pursuit of an acting career. The actress said she wasn't born or educated in Los Angeles but moved there after receiving an opportunity for professional representation. She went on to build her career and raise her children in the city, describing Los Angeles as the place her family considers home. Farr acknowledged that giving up the house has been considerably more difficult than she anticipated. However, she described the change as a hiatus and did not reveal where she plans to live next or whether the move will eventually become permanent. For Fire Country fans, Farr offered a clear message: she is staying with the show. Farr says she is currently in Vancouver filming the 4th episode of Season 5. The Canadian city and surrounding area have served as the production location for the series and its fictional Northern California setting. Farr described the transition as the beginning of what she calls the third act of her life as she considers what comes next. This is Streaming News Network. Actress Linda Blair's Southern California animal rescue operation is under investigation after Los Angeles County authorities visited her property, where more than 100 dogs were reportedly being housed. Blair, best known for starring in the 1973 horror classic, The Exorcist, was present during Friday's inspection and was described by authorities as extremely cooperative. No animals were removed from the property. The investigation involved the Los Angeles County Department of Animal Care and Control and the Department of Regional Planning. Officials say permits associated with the kennel expired in 2023 and that previous attempts to contact the property owner had gone unanswered. Blair responded in a social media video, saying the animals were fine and describing the matter as involving paperwork, updated diagrams and other administrative requirements. The actress has been involved with animal welfare for decades and founded the Linda Blair World Heart Foundation in 2003. The nonprofit rescues dogs facing euthanasia and works to place them in permanent homes. Blair also participated in animal rescue efforts following Hurricane Katrina and has advocated against breed-specific restrictions. County officials say the investigation remains ongoing as they work to ensure kennel operations comply with legal requirements and humane care standards. I am J. Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Thank you for watching and stay informed.
Thank you for viewing Streaming News Network videos and also short and special reports. Please like, subscribe, and tap the bell to be notified of additional reports.